Modern criminal law believes that the purpose of punishment is not only to punish the offender but also to reform and rehabilitate him. One important method of achieving this objective is parole. It allows a prisoner to return to society under certain conditions before completing the full prison sentence. This helps the prisoner gradually adjust to normal life while remaining under the supervision of the authorities. What is parole? Parole is the conditional release of a prisoner after he or she has served a part of the sentence in prison. It is granted because of good behavior, discipline, satisfactory conduct, or other valid reasons provided by law. The prisoner remains under supervision and must follow the conditions imposed by the government or the competent authority. If these conditions are violated, the parole may be cancelled and the prisoner can be sent back to prison to complete the remaining sentence. Thus, parole is not a right of every prisoner. It is a privilege granted only when the authorities believe that the prisoner can safely return to society for a limited period or under prescribed conditions. Advantages of parole. 1. Helps in rehabilitation. It gives prisoners an opportunity to start a normal life again and become responsible citizens. 2. Maintains family relationships. The prisoner can meet family members, solve family problems, and maintain emotional support. 3. Encourages good behavior. Prisoners are motivated to behave well inside prison because good conduct increases the chances of getting parole. 4. Reduces overcrowding in prisons. Temporary release decreases pressure on overcrowded prisons. 5. Makes social adjustment easier. A prisoner returning gradually to society finds it easier to adjust than someone released suddenly after completing the full sentence. Disadvantages of parole. 1. Risk of reoffending. Some prisoners may commit another crime while on parole. 2. Violation of conditions. A parolee may fail to follow the conditions. 3. Public safety concerns. In some cases, early release may create fear among victims or society. 4. Unequal application. Sometimes deserving prisoners may not receive parole while others do, leading to complaints of unfairness. 5. Administrative burden. Proper supervision of parolees requires trained officers and government resources. Difference between parole and indeterminate punishment. Basis parole indeterminate punishment. Meaning conditional release after serving part of the sentence. A sentence where the exact period of imprisonment is not fixed and depends on the prisoner's reform or the law. Stage granted during imprisonment after serving part of the sentence. Decided at the time of sentencing by the court according to law. Purpose to help the prisoner gradually return to society. To allow release when the offender is considered reformed. Nature temporary or conditional release. A method of sentencing with flexible duration. Difference between parole and furlough. Basis parole furlough. Purpose granted for special reasons such as family problems, illness, marriage, or other sufficient cause. Granted mainly to help prisoners maintain family and social ties after a fixed period of imprisonment. Right. It is generally not a legal right and depends on the authority's discretion. In many prison rules, furlough is treated as a periodical benefit if the prisoner satisfies the prescribed conditions. Duration depends on the reason and applicable prison rules. Usually granted for a fixed and shorter period according to prison rules. Reason based on specific need or exceptional circumstances. Given mainly as a reward for good conduct and social reintegration. Case study. An important case is Asfaq v. State of Rajasthan, 2017. The Supreme Court of India explained that parole is intended to help prisoners maintain family and social relationships and support their rehabilitation. At the same time, the court stated that parole should not be granted automatically. The authorities must consider the prisoner's conduct, the seriousness of the offense, and the possibility of misuse before granting parole. Simple explanation of the case: suppose a prisoner has behaved well in jail for many years and his mother becomes seriously ill. He applies for parole to meet and care for her. The authorities examine his behavior, criminal record, and the risk of his escaping or committing another offense. If they find that he is trustworthy, parole may be granted for a limited period with certain conditions. If he obeys those conditions, he returns to prison after the parole period ends. This shows that parole is meant to balance humanity with public safety. Conclusion: parole is an important reformative measure in the criminal justice system. It allows deserving prisoners to maintain family ties, improve their behavior, and prepare for a successful return to society. However, parole must be granted carefully because misuse can affect public safety. It is different from indeterminate punishment because parole is a form of conditional release, whereas indeterminate punishment is a type of sentence. It is also different from furlough because parole is generally granted for a specific reason, while furlough is usually a periodical benefit for eligible prisoners.